Hey, Lee Wolf here. Welcome to Tech Face On. We are live on a absolutely gorgeous Friday, at least in the Northeast. It is 1 o'clock Eastern. Glad to see people already tuning in, listening, watching, and thank you for that. And as always, Mr. Richie Bello has me by his side. How you doing, Richie?
Hey Lee, how are you today?
Very good, very good, and ready to rock. So normally, Tech Face On, we talk about like all the top vendors that we normally deal with. That what people don't realize is that the monsters in the space, the big box stores, the Amazons of the world that are carving away and chipping away at people's business and their customer base. There are ways to combat that very clearly, but you have to be able to um, you know give yourself up to some of these tools and some of these ideas and realize that you don't have to be necessarily in control over it. There are people out there that know what they're doing. It's not as crazy as expensive as it used to be. And there are great methods to be able to start chipping away back at these companies with solutions that they're pretty mind-boggling and pretty straightforward. So that's we're going to kind of like focus a little bit on a few that we've used, and then also Richie wants to talk about a new software solution coming down the pike here that's going to make the most out of Google My Business, which a lot of people we're realizing as we're taking on new customers and looking at people's Google pages in general. People don't take Google My Business as seriously as they should. It's an incredible social world that really draws in business to especially the local economy, which we have to hang on. And I know Richie is a huge advocate for that. He'll spend 4 times more on a product if it means going to a local business and helping that local person. As long as the message hits him and he gets pulled in, he's going. That's what I've noticed from him. So yeah, Richie, where do you want to start? You want to talk about the new software a little bit?
Yeah, so let's talk about history. As of 2018, right? So Google My Business was a different type of product, right?
Mhm.
Totally different. Organically, you used to put on a blog, you used to put on images, you used to put on whatever you were driving traffic and driving traffic. Now it's not about that because there's in the millions of Google My Business, and there's in the hundreds of thousands of the same type of industry. You know what I mean? So it's about the filters, how you set up your Google My Business, and then it's about keywords, and it's about what your competitor, what your competition is doing. So we have a couple of things happening here with Google My Business, right? It's about the post and it's about the image. But how would you like to log on to your Google My Business, sign in with your Google My Business, see how many Google My Businesses you have that you're an admin in, boom, put some keywords on there using technology like heat maps, right? Then posting and blogging on the same portal, and then moving on to images, right? So how would you like that your keywords are about the same as your content,
Right.
right? And your tags and all that. So that's good, right? And it's an automated thing that anybody can go in and do it, user friendly, all this, right? So that's what we're developing. All right. We already have part of that software done and we're launching it. Okay. And I think Lee's got a handle on that real soon. Like what, within about a week, Lee, you figure?
Absolutely. Yep.
So we already have it, part of the software. We're gonna keep adding functionalities.
Yep. Yeah, we're definitely in the testing phases over the next 72 hours, actually.
Yes, we're in the testing phase of 72 hours, correct. So that was a great job that we did, and Lee coordinating the product and all that stuff. He's getting to the point where he's doing really good with coaching people with the product development and and doing all these things. He's a good product guy. He understands that well. So this Google My Business thing is turning into a spin, right? Because if you look at the real history, there was Google Plus, that phase away. Google wanted to make like a social media community. Well, what they did was they took that concept and made Google My Business a community for businesses,
Right.
right? That's what they did. They opened it up a little bit where now you as a customer can put images on there and reviews, but it's not like a customer can write, can put a blog out or anything like that. And who knows what the future might have in store. Okay.
Right.
So Google My Business is a game changer. Why? The big why is why did Richie Bello get involved with this? Okay. Guys, the local economy is the most important thing in any country. In any
Absolutely.
Our local economy is not going to exist as we know it if we continue not supporting our local businesses. Okay? There's no more of that. There's no local business. This is the whole thing. There's Amazon, but there's also Amazon Fresh now. There's Amazon this locally because they know that the local economy is important. Because if that local economy goes even for Amazon too, and they're just doing online business, people don't have money.
Right.
So how is that going to work?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't matter. They understand that. Everybody's understanding that the local economy needs to earn because without them earning, there's no Amazon. There's none of that.
Right.
Could care how many billions of dollars a company has. It could have $1 trillion. If people are not working, it starts depleting.
Right.
Get a bag with beans and every day take 2 beans and don't put any in there and watch what happens in 30 days. All the beans disappear.
Right. That's it.
So that's what's going to happen to this whole thing. So we need to support our local businesses, right? That's what we need to support.
Yeah.
We also need to get involved with this Google My Business that drives the traffic to the local economy.
Yeah.
Right. And what we have with Google My Business is a great platform that drives walk-in traffic. Now let's talk about our product line. So we have the analytics virtually. Okay. We don't need your Google Analytics. Okay. There's a lot of platforms that look at you and your competitors. But we also have a platform that looks at your foot traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Lee? And you're aware of that platform. You started the development phase with that, right? And
Right.
we got a data company doing that. So we have now foot traffic that we know and your virtual traffic. Okay. Now, if your virtual traffic is saying, I'm getting this traffic, why isn't your foot traffic coming in?
Right.
I got 10,000 this on Google My Business, this, that. Well, something's wrong, okay?
Right.
There's something wrong.
Yeah.
Because if you have this kind of volume and you have less than 10% of what it says foot traffic, you got a cloud over your head on your place, a dark cloud that nobody sees or something.
Right. Right.
So that's what's going on. So we have the technology to assess your business, and we have the technology to drive traffic that's going to convert into foot traffic.
Right. And we all know that just because you're located in the middle of a busy shopping mall, it doesn't necessarily mean that people are walking in the door. So,
Right.
Yeah, you could have all the traffic in the world. And that's what you would always talk to me about with search engine optimization.
Right.
You can just jump on a local business. You could charge them thousands of dollars to do SEO, or hundreds, thousands, whatever it is. Company to company is a little different, and drive a whole bunch of people to a terrible website experience. They're not necessarily coming in and shopping then,
Right.
Yeah. And there are proper steps to all of this, and business owners really don't have a grasp on it. And technically speaking, they shouldn't. They're not, just like you wouldn't, have a restaurant and necessarily know how to do the plumbing. You're not necessarily a chef.
Right.
You have to have the right people in place to say, okay, your website isn't even ready for SEO. Your,
Right.
now your SEO is ready. Your message isn't necessarily right. Now you're in its stages, and after a couple of months of play, you're building a universe that's it's targeted to the right people. It's bringing in the types of people that are wanting those products. The message is correct. You understand how you're communicating to them. Like you were saying, where they've gone before. You could see foot traffic. You could see the digital, the digital map, and that's the type of world a local business wants to be living in. Amazon people are just going to think Amazon.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a different animal. And
What's gonna happen is then you're not gonna have the money because you're not supporting your local business. So whatever you do for a living, let's say you buy 85% or 90% in Amazon, right? You're not pumping that money into the economy, so you're gonna start hurting, right? Because now if you depend on something, you know what I mean? So it's just a snowball effect, you know what I mean? So by going to Amazon, it's great, it's convenient, it's this, that, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. I mean, buy stuff there, okay, but also support your local economy. The one thing is, when you don't support your local economy, it's going to disappear. Your local economy disappears, you're going to disappear.
Yeah, and people complain. I actually did I have a personal TikTok page, and I did a whole video of driving through this area that I live in, and I was coming from a comical place, but it was horrifying. And I turned to my right and I said, "Oh, let's take the kids to breakfast." Oh, that place is closed. And then I went through a shopping center and I said, "Oh, let's go to the drugstore." Oh, the drugstore is gone. The eyeglass guy is gone. Oh, this place is closed. There's 2 stores or 3 stores left in this shopping center. Now they're talking about they have to tear it down and put condos up. I'm looking at a shopping center only 2 miles from here that had a King Cullen, for those of you that know it. King Cullen has been gone for years. There's another one closing up only 5-7 miles away. People are not supporting the local economy, and you're going to see your businesses dry up. You're going to see your taxes go up because now there's tax money coming into the area. And those few bucks that you could have paid more for some local products that are normally better products, by the way, could have saved the whole local economy in the towns that you're living in. I'm in an area that when I was a kid, you would walk through these areas and you felt good about the area. Now it looks like, the town's going out of business, not just a couple of businesses. So, yeah.
And and that's happening more and more across the country.
Yeah.
And this technology we have, it's going to be open to the public. And it's going to be anybody can go on there and do whatever they want to do, and it's great software, we think, and it's going to be a great thing. The whole thing with that is we drive traffic virtually, but we drive traffic that's in that area to your location. So here's a product. We drive walk-in traffic, foot traffic to your location using the technology of Google Maps.
Absolutely.
All right. Surrounding areas, we drive that traffic and put them in your location.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we do. We're not going over virtual traffic. Oh, you know what? I got your traffic. If they didn't go into the store, that's your problem. No. Our job actually starts traffic with Google My Business and creating that virtual traffic into walk-in traffic.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the software does. Just understand what it does. It just doesn't give you Google My Business traffic. It brings that traffic in.
Right.
I hate to say this, but it's really not AI technology. It's a whole different type of technology that we're not about to disclose yet because everybody uses AI. It's really not AI. It's this technology that pushes that traffic into going into your location. And we have the analytics of this is your location. This is the traffic you have, foot traffic. This is your Google Analytics. This is your Google My Business. Now let's start.
Right. Yeah.
The problem is there's something called a footprint. A lot of these folks with Google My Business, a lot of them don't even have their own footprint and their own presence on social media or on Google.
Right.
If you don't have a footprint on Google, you are not going to convert.
Right. Absolutely.
End of story. You need that footprint, and that's what this thing does. Makes you that footprint, and then we take that footprint and maximize it because that is an asset. Your footprint on Google is an asset. Your footprint on social media is an asset.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. We take that and maximize it.
Yeah.
This is open to local businesses. And I'm in the car business and all that, and I want to say this. I don't really want the car business in this type of field because I got plenty of friends in the car business that do their marketing stuff and all that. I'm not interested. This is to help the local businesses, you know.
Yeah.
Really, really. And who is it? The restaurants, the dentists, the health people that are great, great human beings. Okay. The holistic medicine, the vitamin drip medicines, the vitamin places, the local pharmacies, that's who it's for. Okay. Yeah. To drive traffic in there with this. And by the way, we've been doing that for quite some time. The only difference is now we got the software. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was having literally a few hours ago, I was having a cup of coffee with a special lady in my life, and she said to me, "What is the show about today?" So I explained what Tech Face On is about, but she didn't necessarily get it, the concept. It's not her world. So I said, "Well, think of it this way. About 4 or 5 weeks ago, her and I were having conversations back and forth, and we were searching a little bit online about wanting to try. Dubai chocolate is a big deal right now. It's been for about a half a year. And no matter where you go, it's either sold out or it's really expensive. It's crazy. Dubai chocolate, Dubai chocolate. And we talk about it and we talk about it. And then
it's not from Dubai,
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. It's very good branding. But but she started getting ads hitting her Instagram, hitting her Facebook, coming up on Google automatically, constantly getting flooded with Dubai chocolate. And everything was local. She found one and said, "Oh my goodness, there's a yoga studio that opened up a tiny shop inside their yoga studio that has coffee and has different Dubai chocolate things and bread and stuff." And I said, "Great, we should go." Within 3 days, we went in there. We spent $20-something on some Dubai chocolate pastries and a couple of cups of coffee, and that business did well. And then they're handing you their cards to do yoga. There's a whole thought process behind it. And we walked out happy, and it was a great experience. But it started with a conversation we had at home, to searching a little bit online, and then getting sucked right in, like someone was out there fishing for us. And it worked. And as much as I understand that it works, I still go for it every time.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. What you just said, it starts with a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I always say to you that sales or anything starts with a conversation.
Yeah, it's a relationship.
But here's the thing. When you have a conversation with yourself, this is not hearing you.
Right. Exactly.
This is hearing you now. Okay?
Oh, absolutely.
This is hearing you, and there's technology out there that's promoting you and targeting you with your devices and all that. And that's what we do. Okay. Mm-hmm. We target devices that go on Google. Listen, guys, here it is. We target devices that go to your Google My Business. That's what the software does, okay? Into your location, push, push, and push.
All right.
Push notifications, right? Well, this pushes this user that had it with the device and search your Google My Business right in there. All right. And we have the coding. It's got tremendous technology. So look us up when you want to get your users at a high percentage into your location. Look us up.
Definitely.
Because that's what we've developed. And I got to thank the team for it. And I also got to thank Lee for going through the whole process of it. And we're launching one part of it within, I believe, 5 or 6 days, 7 days.
Yep.
Something.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we're doing a test on it.
Yeah. Yep. And that starts today.
That's great.
All right. Anything else?
Chocolate, Lee, you know, I travel a little bit, not that much, like a lot of these guys. I think I went with Gene somewhere or something one time, and I started seeing Dubai chocolate in the airports. Then I always go to Florida in the winter. This winter I was a little bit slower, but I went to Florida for the winter, and I saw it all over Florida.
Yeah,
I mean all over, like Stewart, Port St. all over the place. And, you know, I said Dubai chocolate. Wow. So this is, you know, perception was that it's from Dubai, right? It's not.
Yeah.
It ain't from Dubai. It's made in the U.S. You know that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's like
it says Dubai, and you know, I says, "Wow, this is Dubai chocolate." You know.
Yeah. Well, that's
there's a place in Stewart, Florida, that has everything organic coffee. Everything's organic in this place, and they have this chocolate.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable. You know what I mean? And people have it.
Yeah,
and it's milk chocolate. It's not like dark chocolate. They don't make dark chocolate, but people love it.
Yeah,
and people love it with their coffee. People love it with whatever. This Dubai chocolate, you know. And
I
don't even know what it's got in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. But
people are eating it.
Yeah, people are definitely eating it. And if you think about most people don't realize like that's about branding and perception and the message that you put out there. Haagen-Dazs is started, I believe, right here in New York City. It had nothing to do. Sounds German. They purposely put 2 dots over the logo to make it look like it was some other language. It's a completely made up thing. They sold it only to rich people in the beginning because it sounded wealthy.
Right.
And it had decent ingredients, and it took off like wildfire in the rich areas of the cities. And the next thing you know, Haagen-Dazs is a national name.
Wow.
And all it is milk, cream, sugar, same thing. But
that's unbelievable.
Yeah, but that's the deal. Anything else to add, or are we signing off for the weekend?
I think we're signing off for the weekend. I wish everybody a good weekend. Stay in touch, but stay in touch with yourself.
Yep, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make sure you communicate with yourself because, you know, sometimes we get lost.
Yeah, and make sure it's positive communication.
Yeah, not like me, right, Lee?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, not like me. I go like sometimes a little nutty. You know what I mean? I'm a little out there.
I know.
You know, I mean, a lot of the audience that does watch me, they know I'm a little bit out there.
Yeah, it gets the job done, though.
It ain't a secret. You know what I mean, Lee?
Yeah.
And you know me, I'm very transparent, so I could care less. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just that type of person.
Yeah.
You
know? All right. Well, thanks to everyone for watching and listening today. And we'll be up and running next week again. So have a great weekend. Enjoy your families, enjoy your friends, and God bless.
Take care. Bye-bye.